If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
It's National Tooth Fairy Day. National Tooth Fairy Day. I don't know what the average cost of the tooth is, but I'm sure it's up due to inflation.
No, it's actually down.
Like oh, is it really?
Yeah, those prices are hitting the tooth fairy hard, too. So she's not paying as much on average for teeth.
Even the tooth fairy is feeling it.
Yeah.
The crunch. How much did you guys get? A quarter or something? I feel like everybody that's older than me was like, oh, when I grew up, I got a quarter for it.
It's like a
There's
dollar.
no way that's possible.
I got $1 a tooth, maybe.
I think I got $1 too.
Yeah, 50 cents.
Yeah,
It was 50 cents, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The average is just over $6 now, I think. About $6 a tooth.
I think somebody
they did say, I saw a thing that said it's skewed because out west, like California, they get a lot more.
Yeah.
They're getting like $8, $9, $10 a tooth. Everywhere else, people are getting like $3 and $4 a tooth. So that kind of skews the national average somehow.
It'd be weird waking up when the tooth fairy leaves you a $5 bill and a $1 bill. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like, stick with the hard bills. I don't know. So happy National Tooth Fairy Day.
Leave me a 20.
Yeah, exactly. Kate Middleton is trending this morning. The internet is memeing her, what they're calling disappearance. And it's not a disappearance at all. She had abdominal surgery a few weeks ago. And the palace said that she would be not doing public royal duties until, I think, mid-April.
Yeah.
What exactly is the public royal duties? That sounds like she's going to the toilet.
Yeah, it kind of does.
In the Home Depot.
A lot of people are saying she just got bad bangs and she's trying to hide them.
But, I mean, they came right out and said, here's what's happened. She had to have this emergency surgery. She won't see her until after Easter.
Yeah, like the first day.
Yeah.
So
They're not hiding anything.
No, I don't think so at all. But they're saying, well, this comes on the heels of those rumors that Prince William is cheating on her, and that she doesn't want to be seen, and she might be having liposuction on her face to get rid of. A bunch of crazy, stupid stuff. That's the internet.
It's confirmed abdominal surgery.
Yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back. And then Adele has postponed her Las Vegas residency for a few more weekends, like 5 more weekends in a row, because she's sick again. Apparently, she was not feeling well during the end of her last run, and now she's postponed, a bunch more shows, which sucks because it's in Las Vegas. People that are going to see Adele in Las Vegas show up to Las Vegas for a weekend.
Sure.
And they're partying, and they're all going to be kind of.
Well, see, I heard that what happened was that the theater, the manager of the theater, told her that she can't cuss from stage anymore, and so she just can't bring herself to go out there and perform because she can't speak. She can't speak without cussing.
You got to think with Adele cussing.
Yeah.
Is it because she's British?
She's just a smut mouth.
Yeah.
She sings all these great, sophisticated songs, and you wouldn't expect her to, as soon as she stops the song, start throwing the F word around.
Yeah, it's something. But those are just a few things that are now trending.
There are some things that happen in the world of pop culture that cross over at some point. They cross over into where they should be added to the textbooks. What are those things? You'll tell us next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ Show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
All guests of the Ace and TJ Show stay at the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. Beautiful rooms, incredible dining options. Book your room by calling 980-299-7123. It's the Hyatt-centric Charlotte South Park. The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first-class cleaning with the Johnson Group.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
If you haven't checked out some of our new projects, we're having a lot of fun this week because we launched 2 new podcasts. TJ's podcast hits every day at 9 Eastern on the Ace and TJ app. Then at 10, it's available as a download wherever you download podcasts. And then every afternoon at 3, my new podcast, Ace and Friends, is available for download wherever you download podcasts. So you can check those out. Something new, something different, something fresh, something exciting, something fun, all from the Ace and TJ show, in addition to the podcast and radio show that happens every day. History was one of my favorite subjects in school. And when I was in school, you would get the history book. And I clearly remember, it seemed like every year, my favorite part of history would be like the most recent stuff. Because it seemed like you'd covered, how many times we got to cover the American Revolution? Mm-hmm. And it seemed like the end of the year, you always had to rush through the stuff that I was really into, like, the 60s and Watergate and all those things that I always thought had the most impact on the world that I was living in at the time as a kid. And I would always flip to the back of the book, of the textbook, and say, I wonder how far this goes. And I hated that you had to rush through that part. I'd rather rush through the beginning and then save some for the end. And the textbooks always seemed behind. Now, that's probably been remedied by the fact that you can just upload updated information all the time now, because the textbooks are on computer for most everybody. Nobody even bothers with books anymore. Most places, it's all on computer. But the textbook always seemed to be a few years behind. And there are items that cross over that should have been added to the textbook that weren't being discussed. I'll give you an example. Today in history is the day that the Branch Davidian standoff started in 1993 in Waco, that 51-day standoff. It started today. They went out there to check it out and serve some warrants, and next thing you know, there's gunfire and a hail of bullets, and 51 days later, this horrific ending of this thing. That needs to be in textbooks. So if we wanted to add stuff to the textbook, what pop culture phenomenons from the past few years would need to be added to the textbooks? What would you think?
Pop culture things or just news things?
I like pop culture things.
Like Kanye's breakdown? Like that?
Good one.
Britney dancing with knives.
The arc of the whole Britney story could be one.
Yeah.
I would like to see a full lesson on just how weird it is that people started snapping their fingers instead of clapping their hands when somebody says something they want to applaud. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Where
in my
did
life.
that start?
It started with the slam poetry, I think. And slam poetry started in the 60s. People don't know that.
That is one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen.
And it's less triggering than that.
Haps are so harsh, man.
I've seen that before. I'm like, what is happening?
God, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's a great example, TJ.
Can you stop clapping, please?
So, at the Ace TJ show, what things have happened in the past few years? I don't know, it could be the last 10 years or so. Things that became phenomenons that you think that's got to be added to the pop culture textbook. It's got to be in there. Future generations need to know about this particular event when it happened. At the Ace TJ show. Oh, and some of these will make you go, I completely forgot about that. That's a great one. Next.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities. And we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Attention Charlotte, treat yourself to a delicious meal that's made with fresh, seasonal ingredients and ready in just 20 minutes. Enjoy a fine dining experience without ever leaving your home. Head over to tableandtwine.com.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
If there was a pop culture textbook, what are some things that have happened in the past decade or so that would have to be added to the pop culture textbook? I can give you one right off the top. The Taylor Swift impact on the NFL.
Good one.
I mean, there's no denying the fact that she's brought more eyeballs to the NFL, people who outside of the realm of NFL fans, and it has been the most talked about thing for the most of the NFL season, especially throughout the playoffs.
I think just the drone culture in general of drones just following each other around into what's popular and what's not. Like the Saskatchewan sauce at McDonald's or whatever it's called.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Like that, Taylor Swift, all kinds of stuff.
Do you have one that pops up, Riggins? Or what?
The double down at KFC. I think, can you imagine your mom going to KFC and ordering a double down? Remember that? That was 2 fried pieces of chicken with cheese, bacon, and spicy sauce sandwiched in between.
Yeah.
Your mothers would have been repulsed by the idea.
Sure.
But then it became sort of this thing, like what's the craziest thing we can sell you through a window? I think that was a pivotal moment in fast food, the double down.
Yeah, that and this Flying Dutchman. I can't ever picture my mom eating that either.
Right, and now it's like the hottest food on social
Big
media.
onions as a bun on a burger.
Yeah.
Well, the whole chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
People fighting each other in a park. Somebody died.
Yeah.
They got stabbed or something. They died over a chicken sandwich. Mm-hmm. That's a whole thing. Lines wrapped around the building over a chicken sandwich. That would have to go in the pop culture textbook. Jessica said that who the F did I marry on TikTok? That woman that's being married to a pathological liar. That thing has become so huge. Was it over 200 million hits on TikTok for her 50 videos? That's one that, I think it's a little bit too fresh to say that now, but you give it a year or two, you're like, that'd have to go in. People will still be talking about that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone past a certain age knows about that. Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought.
Yeah, I keep up with things, and I keep all of that. And when you mentioned that the other day, I thought it was the crime documentary show that's called "Who the Blank Did I Marry?"
Lauren says the Vanderpump scandal, Scandival. For a moment in time, it was massive.
Yeah. But that happens like every day now.
Yeah.
Those things that are kind of so hot for such a short amount of time. But like the Britney arc, that's an arc. The chicken sandwich thing, that is, months long. I think it's got to have a little more legs under it. You know what I'm saying?
The chicken sandwich thing is longer than the Scandival?
I think so. I think it was more impactful than Scandival was.
Yeah, I would agree with that because other fast food restaurants changed their formulas. I started doing different things because of that.
And even old people knew about it.
Even old people knew about it.
That's usually a good test of the general public.
If old people know about it.
Yeah, of what pop culture stuff is.
Let's see. One lady said the new Wendy Williams documentary, an absolutely disgusting display of what anyone will do for the almighty dollar. She is clearly sick and everyone around her reaps the benefits. I haven't seen that documentary yet, so I don't know.
I don't think that's the narrative at all. I think she probably needs to make a little bit of money. And she's willing to put her shortcomings on television for it.
What about 3 Spider-Mans in one movie?
The Marvel, the superhero.
The superhero thing.
Yeah, I don't know about.
Spider-Man's the pinnacle,
3
okay?
Spider-Mans in one movie. I don't know. That might be a little bit much.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
It is. That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today, you could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting. There's no appraisal. I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com.
Our nation's second president, John Adams, always slept on the left side of the bed. He believed this would increase his chances of having positive dreams and a more successful next day. That's why every mattress we sell here at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress includes a left side.
And for those that prefer waking up on the right side of the bed, our mattresses come with one of those too.
This President's Day, you can save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic sets. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
I see Pokemon Day is the top trending topic, but that was yesterday, so some of y'all are late. I don't know. What are you supposed to do on Pokemon Day, Rob?
I think they just, I don't know, but they announced a whole bunch of new Pokemon games yesterday.
A bunch of new Pokemons or Pokemon games?
Games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did they let kids out of school for that or anything?
No.
Do you get new Pokemon? I don't know how Pokemons work. Do you get new Pokemons?
Every few years they make a new, what they call generation of Pokemon, and they bring out new games with new Pokemon in them.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like constantly. So you really can't catch them all. It's a moving target.
Right. There's
is
like
what they've done.
There's like 700 of them now.
There's 700 Pokemons?
Yeah.
You're going to be outside all day running around looking at Pokemans.
Catching Pokemans.
Yeah. IHOP has a new collaboration, and I think this one is kind of interesting. IHOP is now collaborating with Lay's potato chips. It's a Lay's IHOP Rooty Tooty Fresh and Fruity potato chip. They said it brings the pancake experience to your fingertips. Sweet strawberry, maple syrup notes, and a whisper of savory bacon, all on the crispy canvas of a Lay's potato chip is the way it's described.
And guess where it's available?
Where?
You need no guesses where
No.
it would be available? Walmart.
Oh, it's got to
Walmart.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm sure that the average customer at Walmart has already been making their own.
I like eating pancakes with potato chips.
I like potato chips on my pancakes.
I like dipping potato chips into syrup. Holy crap. That doesn't sound good to me at all, though. Strawberry syrup and bacon?
No, it's too much.
No. But I can see them being eaten out of the basket on one of those scooters at Walmart.
Absolutely.
You know, you just can't wait to get to the checkout counter. You just got to do it, eat it now and have them scan the empty bag when you get up there.
There's no such thing as an unopened Fruity Tooty Fresh and Fruity potato chip bag. And then Andy Reid, continuing to talk about how great it was to have Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, says Taylor Swift, at some point during the season, even made the offensive line of the Chiefs homemade Pop-Tarts. Oh, she's so crafty and clever in the kitchen. I absolutely homemade Pop-Tarts.
Who wants that?
Yeah, that's a going around the internet thing.
She loves it.
Yeah.
Homemade Pop-Tarts. I'm sure they're delicious. She's a well-known baker, but he also thinks that she sincerely enjoyed her escape from her everyday grind of touring around the world.
Sure.
Yeah, you make those Pop-Tarts in the crock pot with cream cheese and shredded cheddar.
That makes sense.
And cream of mushroom soup.
That makes a lot of sense. So, more glowing comments about Taylor Swift from Andy Reid. And those are just a few things that are now trending.
Well, the Fire Festival was a big embarrassment, but it's not to be outdone by the Willy Wonka Festival. Woo! I'll tell you what's going on with this coming up next.
Live on your radio and anytime you want us, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime. Thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics, Neogenics.
Bradham Brothers offers heating, air, and electrical installation and service that you can trust. Their family business has served thousands of customers with honesty and a smile for over 50 years. Go to bradhambrothers.com to schedule service or a free estimate today.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Okay, well, there are some things that travel through towns and cities across a certain country that you pay to go see this experience, and then they move on down the road. Sometimes it's great. I remember growing up in Winfield, Louisiana, when I was a little bitty boy, And there was a man that had a big trailer that was pulling with his truck, and it was a Cobra show. And he parked right there in the parking lot of Troy's Superfoods in Shoppers Village. And people could come out and watch him handle these snakes, and they were gathered around his little trailer there, his little wagon, and he would handle this one, and he had some rattlesnakes, and then he had the cobra raise up, and he leaned in, and for the show finale, he kissed that cobra right on the nose. And we were so thrilled. That was the best thing that had come to town in a long, long time. I mean, everybody was just so happy. It raised the morale of the entire small city of Winfield, Louisiana. And then they have these big show experiences that come through, like that Van Gogh experience that comes into the big cities and stuff. And people love that. Well, there was a company in Scotland, and they were advertising the Willy's Chocolate Experience. But it's a knockoff of Willy Wonka. $45 per person, it was advertised. And it was supposed to be an immersive walkthrough experience to make you feel like you were in Willy Wonka's factory. So people paid their $45 expecting to see something like you'd see at Disney, but apparently the advertisement was just AI generated and all. And when they got there, the experience was less than 10 minutes long and didn't feature any candy, let alone any decor or immersive interaction. One person gave this review: underwhelming was an understatement. Embarrassing doesn't even cut it. Some people didn't even get that because there was such a backlash as it was happening. They had to put out a big cardboard sign that said event canceled. And some parents were even concerned enough to call police and say that they were worried that not just because they were being defrauded, but because they were worried about it being safe or not. So it was just basically a little walkthrough. It had a little stage with a staircase up and some fake tree, like you would see if the high school drama team was putting on a Willy Wonka play, for their spring production. That's what it looked like, the set of that. So the organizers apologized and blamed the disaster on a, quote, holographic technology that didn't arrive on time. That we would have had all of this immersive experience. It just, like, the trucks got backed up and we don't know what happened to them. One of them had a flat, ran off the road, and the other one had to pull them out. I mean, it was just a bad thing. This is the best we could do at short notice. But they said they were going to give them refunds. And they called the police, and it's already been shut down by the time the police got there. So,
anytime there's a cardboard sign of some sort, things are bad. If a business has a cardboard sign up, things have gone awry.
Yeah, especially with like Sharpie words on it.
That's a bad sign, no matter what.
$45.
$45 for a knockoff
for nothing.
Willy Wonka.
How much was the Van Gogh thing a ticket? Like $100 or something?
Yeah, 75, something like that.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was
crazy.
Great. It was awesome.
All right, I have a new philosophy on the tip culture. I've summed it up in a neat little package. And it's going to make people mad next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help. Because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin. Should you buy? Should you sell? How do I present my house if I do want to sell it? All of those questions can be answered by the experts, and they can take care of you with the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. The Temple team knows everything there is to know about selling, marketing, and buying houses. So get in touch with them today at acetj.com/Temple team. The Temple team at Keller Williams Realty.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
All right, there is a big thing going around on the internets where this woman is claiming that she went to a pizzeria and the pizza people took it out on her that she didn't tip them ahead of time, and they burned her pizza on purpose.
Because she didn't tip ahead of time.
Yeah, they hand her the receipt. There's a place for the tip before they even go to prepare her food. She drew a line through the part where there was a tip. She said the guy turned around to give the order to the kitchen and said something, and she was ordering by the slice. She got 2 slices, and they burned both of them. She said, "This is burned. I can't." And he took it back and got 2 more slices and burned those as well. So she's saying that they burned them because she didn't tip them, and she didn't tip them because it was, before they had rendered the service. Yeah. So with a lot of people, that rule has changed about tipping after you get the service. And the reason why is because for some reason we have gone from looking at a tip as a way to reward somebody for doing a good job above, whatever that they would normally do. And then we've changed that to being, instead of a gratuity, it's now an entitlement.
Okay.
And that's why people get all mad when you don't tip them ahead of time, because now they feel like they're entitled to it. And I think it's their bosses putting that in their heads, because the bosses don't want to pay them more.
Because they don't want to pay them, you're right.
Yeah, so they're like, hey, people should be tipping you. You should be making a lot more than you're making, but it's not on me. It's on the people who are not tipping you. So now it's become an emotional entitlement thing. And it's ruining it for all people who are generous and actually like, following the rules of the tipping. See, you got to have rules in a society.
You're right.
When it comes to tipping or anything else. Like, she orders 2 slices of pizza. I don't know. Let's say today 2 slices of pizza would cost $50. So they're not waiting on the table. She's at a counter. They hand in the order, turn around, bring it to the counter. Here's your order. How much would you tip on that if you were just tipping by the regular rules that have been established for so many years?
I wouldn't tip.
Okay, so maybe if there's a tip jar on the counter, like at the ice cream shop, you might throw $1 in there or something.
Yeah, maybe add $2 for the tip, but you're not. I wouldn't tip 10% or 20%.
Right.
Because all you're doing is turning around, taking the slices, handing them to me. That's the gig. That's your job. You're not going above and beyond this. You're not serving me in any way.
You know what? I may start tipping people more if they act like they it's not an entitlement. Like if you what I would have done on that case, I would have marked through the line that said tip and put cash, and I would have handed them a couple of bucks cash. But people don't have cash anymore because that's old and dirty. You might as well be a prevert walking through a playground as to pull cash out of your pocket now in front of young people.
And they might be offended that you only give them like $5.
Yeah, but it's after you already got your pizza, so then you just run, eat it, and be done with it. So that's the way to do it. Run from the tip. Run with your pizza. Get out of there. Don't be entitled.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities. And we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
I think it was Charles Barkley, NBA legend and basketball color commentator. who said, "You just can't have fun anymore. Yeah. People can't have fun anymore." I learned that lesson yesterday. I don't know if you received any of this, Riggins, but we have new projects going. And Ace has a new podcast that's on in the afternoon called Ace and Friends, Ace's Friends. And then I have one called TJ's Podcast. And yesterday, the little promotional thing that ran, a clip from the show, was my talking about how if a woman in a parking lot pulled a knife on me, I could outrun her. In other words, it's not as sure on my part that I could outrun a guy, you know, if he's young and got a strong back and all. But I said I could outrun your average woman. Of course, you know, then I'm going to get messages like, why do you say you can outrun a woman? Why don't you? I know this woman who ran track, and I specifically said, but it wasn't in the clip that we ran. I specifically said, I'm not talking about a woman who's unusually faster than your average woman. And I'm not talking about a track star or anything. But you would have thought that I had just come out and said, you know, women can't vote anymore. I mean, they just went nuts. All because I said I could outrun your average woman in a parking lot if she was trying to mug me. And I could. Make no mistake about it, I could do it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because, you know, while I am heavy set at this stage of my life, I can still run, especially if I'm scared.
He's still nimble.
Yeah. I'm fleet of foot is what I am. But why would nobody said anything to you, Riggins? Nobody sent you any? Because you were laughing.
I thought it was funny, yeah.
So you were just as big of a misogynist as I was yesterday.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can't have no fun.
I wouldn't be. I'd delete. I don't care.
Oh, I didn't argue with him or anything, but I was really going, what?
Yeah.
Are you really going to pull something out of that to be offended by for your sex?
Get a grip.
Yeah. Now, in my younger days, I would be like, all right, let's get them together. Let's get a woman up here to pull a knife on me in the parking lot and see if you can catch me when I take off running. Oh, but
please.
No, I don't.
Oh, please.
I don't have time for all that foolishness. No. All that foolishment. It's on them to prove that I'm wrong, not on me to prove that they're right.
Well,
or to prove that I'm right. I mean, I'm out all the time. If you see me somewhere, run up and say, "Hey, let me see if I can chase you." I'll run with you if you just you put your bags in the car at Walmart or something and say, "Hey, let's race." I'll race women. I don't care.
Do not put that out there. It's going to be Small Town Adventures 9:30, and somebody's going to come running up to you. TJ!
I will. I'll race them. I don't care. Come on, ladies. Bring it. Bring it.
Riggins and Now Trending coming up next.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show. More next.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
As a proven leader in managed IT services, CompuCom delivers innovative solutions designed for how you work today. They'll help you deliver results no matter where you are on your digital transformation journey. It's all at CompuCom. Go to CompuCom.com to find out more.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
Kate Middleton, one of the most highly talked about celebrities in the world today. People are memeing her disappearance, but she hasn't disappeared. She's been out of the public eye, not quite the same thing as a disappearance. She's having abdominal surgery, recovering from it.
Well, I saw a story the other day. It was a catch up. What do you call it? Find out what's going on with Pippa, her sister. So they did a little thing about Pippa.
You never hear about Pippa anymore.
And let me answer the question that y'all have. Yes, she's still adorable.
Yeah, you were always a big Pippa guy.
Yeah, I'll take Pippa in looks department over Kate any day.
You think?
Yeah. I'd have to call her something else, though. I'd feel ridiculous calling somebody that I'm, in a relationship with Pippa.
Is that her name or nickname?
I don't know.
Pippa.
Either way.
You got Kate and Pippa.
Pippa
the Pippa the princess.
Pippa the pig. Yeah. But yeah, she's adorable.
Yeah, you've always been a big Pippa guy. So people are talking about that. There's a new show out that has almost a perfect review on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. It's called Shogun. It's on FX and Hulu. It's about a samurai. There's 2 episodes out. People are saying it's the most what did they call it? Most transformative series since Game of Thrones.
What does that mean?
I don't really know.
It means they're overly dramatic when they speak.
It's going to change your. It's going to change your life.
Yeah, you won't be the same after you watch Shogun.
Have you watched this?
No, I've heard really good things about it though.
Yeah, it's got a perfect rating.
Mm-hmm. Right, and it's not an original show, right? There was a Shogun already.
This says original series on it.
Oh, well, maybe it was. Fargo is an original series on FX, I think, because it was a movie and then they made it into a series.
Was Shogun a book or miniseries, TJ?
A restaurant, I think.
Okay.
I think it was both, Brother Ace. It was a book and a miniseries.
Yeah, 1980 miniseries.
It's a pretty standard name though.
You're correct.
So people are checking that out and loving it apparently. And then I think the craziest entertainment story of the day. There's a report out that when CNN fired Don Lemon a year ago, they're apparently they just figured out his exit payment. It's going to be $24.5 million, the amount of his entire 4-year contract. But it's 3 years in advance, so he doesn't even have to work the next 3 years. But he still gets all of the money that he was promised.
It's a lump sum payment of $24.5 million for a guy who was getting slaughtered in the ratings every night.
Yeah, and whose IQ is about 3.
I read that yesterday. I went back and was like, "You've got to be kidding me."
Yeah,
and he's been out on the beach from what I could tell. I mean,
he's got a new show. I think some kind of a new show.
He's coming to X. He's coming. Tucker Carlson welcomed him. Said, this is the great space to do a show. And Don Lemon, said, I'm going to bring my show here. So he's going to do, a free speech, debate show, I guess, but with $25 million richer. So that's what's now trending.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
It is. That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today. You could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting. There's no appraisal. I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com.
It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime. Thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/neogenics. Neogenics.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Name the top 3 flavors of ice cream in the United States right now. See if you can do it.
Vanilla's number 1. Chocolate and mint chocolate chip.
Incorrect.
Were any of those correct?
Yeah, one of them.
Okay.
Just one?
Yeah, vanilla's number
Vanilla.
1.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Vanilla's number 2.
It's number 1 in my heart.
Okay.
Cookie dough.
I honestly would have gone with the same 3.
Cookies and cream.
Ooh,
Cookies and cream. That's the number 1 flavor.
I
but
agree.
guess what didn't even crack the top 10? Chocolate chip.
Yeah.
Chocolate chip. No one's eating chocolate chip ice cream anymore.
Yeah, it's so out of date. Not out of style.
Who knew?
Yeah.
I guess so. I thought that was like a bit. I'm pretty sure that's all the ice cream we had was chocolate chip when I was growing up. But yeah, didn't crack the top 10. Cookies and cream, number 1. Vanilla, chocolate, mint chocolate chip. Strawberry at number 5. Number 6, butter pecan.
Oh.
Yeah, that's an older crowd.
Yeah.
My mama loves
Butter pecan.
butter pecan and pralines and cream.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. I think I'd mess that up. Number 7 is coffee. Number 8, chocolate chip cookie dough.
Wait, hang on a second. You're telling me the 7th biggest selling ice cream in America is coffee?
Coffee.
Ahead of chocolate?
No, chocolate's
coffee
number
ain't-
3.
Oh, chocolate was
ain't
3.
ice
Okay, I didn't
cream.
think chocolate was in the top 3, you said. Okay.
Chocolate chip cookie dough, caramel/salted caramel, and then just regular cookie dough at number 10. Yeah, chocolate chip not even
No
in the
peanut
top 10.
butter.
No peanut butter, no.
Who's eating coffee flavored ice cream?
Haagen-Dazs has a coffee flavored ice cream. It's pretty good. I've had it one time. It was not bad.
Yeah, women.
Arby's has a shake that's called Jamocha, and that's coffee flavored.
Yeah, same demographic Ace that's drinking all the espresso martinis.
Well, I do like an espresso martini.
Jody was drinking one, wasn't she?
Oh, I know, because she's supposed to. She's a woman.
Okay, I just learned I'm not supposed to be drinking an espresso martini.
Yeah.
You knew that.
I was surprised Neapolitan, the one with the chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry that like your grandma had, did not make the top 10.
Well, maybe if you voted for that, maybe they put it towards each of those ones individually.
Yeah. Yeah, right. The no rum raisin, which I know TJ grew up on. What's your favorite flavor, Rob?
Cookies and cream. When you said it, I was like, oh, I haven't had that in forever, but it's my favorite.
And that's just Oreo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Oreo's a brand name.
And they can't do that. So what's a flavor you absolutely hate? My brother loves black licorice, and he loved it since he was a kid. Like eats the black jelly beans, black Twizzlers, which I don't know who's buying. He is. You always wonder, like, who's buying that? Yeah, my brother is. So what's a flavor you absolutely hate that you encounter all the time? You don't understand it. At the Ace TJ Show, we'll get your answers next.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ Show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
What's a flavor you absolutely hate? Turns out the top 3 ice cream flavors are cookies and cream, vanilla, and chocolate. Chocolate chip didn't even make the top 10. Embarrassing. But what's a flavor you absolutely hate? I know a lot of people don't like mint chocolate chip, but that was number 4. A lot of people say it tastes like toothpaste.
Yeah, I don't like mint chocolate chip.
My wife, Amanda, doesn't like anything chocolate.
No chocolate at
No
all?
chocolate at all.
That's
bizarre. She does not like chocolate.
What's a flavor you hate?
I don't really. It would have to be just something really weird. I don't really have one that I hate.
Are you talking about just ice cream or in general?
No, just in general.
Yeah, there's really.
I hate cherry.
Yeah, nothing jumps out at me that I just can't stand.
Ginger flavor is what I would go with. Like I don't like ginger ales. I don't like ginger dressing. Whatever's made of ginger.
God, I love
So you
ginger
mean,
dressing.
Rob, you don't have freshly peeled and sliced ginger in your kitchen at all times?
You're right. I don't.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. Amy, at the Ace TJ Show, if you've got a flavor you absolutely hate, Amy said artificial banana. Like that's the flavor.
Oh yeah.
I think they do a pretty good job
I do too. I love
recreating
it.
banana flavors in a lot of that stuff. But she says artificial banana, like in Laffy Taffy or anything like that. There's so many of these. Somebody else said cherry. Sarah said coffee flavored stuff. Root beer, whatever the flavor is in root beer, that is
Sassafras.
Sassafras.
That's delicious.
Oh, I can't stand root beer. I hate it.
Oh man, I love root beer.
Do your parents
So
like
gross.
it?
I don't know. I don't think I ever saw them drinking a root beer. They would have like Coke floats and stuff like that. But
I always imagine Midwest people loving root beer.
is it from the Midwest?
Well, my father-in-law's from the Midwest, and he loves it. And then, they had all the root beer on Happy Days all the time, and they were in Wisconsin. So.
Yeah. Penny said everything bagel flavoring.
Yeah.
Very specific.
So much stuff in that one. It's like I always say about KFC. One of the 11 herbs and spices I don't like. I just don't know which one it is.
I like Travis's answer. Coconut. I hate the flavor, the smell, and the texture. Bottom line, I don't trust hairy fruits.
Well, that's good.
So no, I guess he doesn't like peaches.
Yeah, or kiwis or anything like that. Licorice, black licorice, hazelnut, watermelon, curry. I've never had curry.
Yeah, licorice, black licorice, number one answer that shows up.
Yeah, I don't
makes
like
sense.
that either.
It's unappealing looking. It's disgusting smelling. You know that story a few weeks ago about how a Stanley Cup survived a fire? A Stanley Cup has actually saved a woman's life, or so she says. The story next.
Live on your radio and anytime you want us, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Back again with our friend Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, tell us about this cash out equity thing, instant cash, add water, and there it is.
That's how it is. Instant equity. I mean, you do the application today, you could close today and get your money in 5 days. There's no underwriting, there's no appraisal. You know, I think didn't you do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what I did. Instant equity. It's very easy, and Richard walks you through the process. Find out more at homewithrichard.com.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So try to figure out if this is somebody trying to scam a big company or not. A lot of people seem to think it is. But remember a few weeks ago, we were talking about that story about the Stanley Cup that survived the woman's car catching on fire.
Yeah, she posted that TikTok that it still had ice in it and everything.
Yeah, it was the only thing left that was surviving the car fire. And Stanley reached out, just obviously seeing a great opportunity to promote their brand, and said, hey, we're gonna replace your car for you. We're gonna buy you a new car. And I think it was the CEO of Stanley. He's like, this is an important one. I'll get in front of a camera to talk about that. There's a woman that says, her name is Rachel. She owns a Stanley Cup. She says there was a shootout in front of her house, and the only thing that saved her was her Stanley mug. Stray bullet came through the house, bounced off the wall. She's holding the Stanley Cup, I'm sure, in front of her heart. And she shows off the Stanley Cup with a pretty clear, huge dent in it that looks like a bullet hit it.
Well, who in the world is going to still be holding a glass or a cup of anything if there's a shootout going on in your front yard? When you hit the deck?
Yeah, there are a lot of questions that that are fair to ask in this scenario.
Sit there and keep watching your stories.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, girl, you're doing this. Stanley's not going to buy you a new house because the bullet came through the wall.
Are there any neighbors that can document this particular shootout took place?
A news article. Able to track one down. No, maybe it is true. And that, I mean, a feather in the cap of Stanley, I'm sure. But something about it stinks. Something about this story smells a little fishy.
I've had to hit the deck when there's a shootout going on below the apartment I was in one time.
Really?
Yeah, we were in Savannah a few New Year's Eves ago, remember?
That's right. Oh,
and if I would have been holding a drink, I would not be holding the drink anymore. I would have put the drink down and gotten on the floor and laid flat. There's a shootout going on right under us.
There's a good chance the drink is spilled because you're just dropping everything and hitting the deck.
So we'll see if Stanley addresses it. A lot of people think she's just trying to get a new house for herself. We got to share a wild story coming up next.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
It's a new year, which means new you. No, not if you've got nagging pain. That means we want old you before you had that pain. And it's possible without surgery, without medication, without downtime. Thanks to Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic. I am a Neogenics client. I am a Neogenics lover because they fixed my left wrist. And you can get a free consultation right now. Call 704-727-6551 or online at acetj.com/Neogenics, Neogenics.